Hey everyone, this is Ryan Bailey from Ashtanga 530 in Auburn, California. I want to give you guys some hints on getting into half lotus. So I had this idea and this concept that really helps to understand where to move from when you're doing the pose. So if you're a Ashtanga practitioner, then a lot of this will make sense. But even if you're trying to get into lotus, it's a really common posture in yoga in general, and a lot of times we're probably using the wrong joint to try to get into it. So really think about trying to access the hip. So I have an idea and maybe like a little something that would help you visually to remember it. So if we're taking it from like a seated position, consider locking the knee joint first, almost like if you're going to come into Marichasana A. So we lock this knee joint. And then what I want to do from there is pick up the foot and the hip a little bit so that I can access rotation through the hip and not through the knee joint. Another way visually to take this idea is like imagine your leg, your knee was like strapped up, right? So if I take a strap, I'm going to take this Marichasana A position, and now this knee is locked up, and I go to pick this up. If I lift the hip up and rotate the head of the femur, right, the trochanter into the socket, then all of that movement now went into the hip. My knee never moved, it was locked by the strap. So it's just moving in the angle but staying locked, right? And then I could take that position, you know, whatever the pose is from there. If I'm trying to take full lotus, then obviously I'll pull the other leg under. So it's a way to consider a couple other postures that would benefit from that same technique of drawing the leg back. Tringa Mukha, you would then take the leg there, right? Knee joint still locked, foot's in position. Potentially you could still like move the calf, but we have this idea that we're taking care of the knee joint much better. The knee joint is really good at extending the leg. It's not really good at the like rotation and the lateral movement that the hip is. So I want to try to use the hip to access these types of positions, and same thing coming out. Like coming out of this pose, I personally feel like leaning a little bit to clear the space, like maybe get back to the base and then extend the leg out. So that can be done for all of those other postures. And if I don't have the strap, then I'm just working to compress like the strap was there, lifting and turning the whole hip. So maybe there's an extra step or two at first. When you're new to it, it's worth the extra few steps, especially if you're doing it repetitiously. And then same thing coming out. You would want to hold the knee, do the movement in the hip, so you probably have to lift it off the floor and then extend it out. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you soon. Thanks.